There are things that we can do as therapists to create like little splints or blocks to that joint so that you have a little more of a flexed pattern when you're playing.
And you have some of those splints here, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I brought a few of, we do customize some of the splints.
My understanding, some of the splints aren't used when you're playing, but they're used at night.
Yes,
keep your
used
hands
at night, yes.
So that you're not flexing them and causing
So
carpal tunnel.
this would be a carpal tunnel splint, okay? And so this is something that helps relieve the compression if you had that tingling in that median nerve. So that's something that you could wear at night just to relax the nerve, okay? If you're doing a lot of playing and that.
I've seen drummers use those.
While they're playing?
Well, both, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you can get, like this one has a metal bar in it. You can get the kind that don't, but you wanna make sure that you're supporting that wrist. So you can use splints. This is like a finger, like a little finger splint that you can wear. We make these to even go on the thumbs. I don't think I'm gonna get that one on my thumb, but
you can custom make them for the individual.
We can custom make those for you, like in our department.
Okay.
So like this is, there's different sizes, but let's say we did that and then try to strum your guitar and see if that changes things a little bit. So it takes a little stress off of that joint for you.
It feels very different.
Yeah. So it would take a little bit to get used to, but actually now it positions your thumb a little bit better and you're not hyperextending that tendon, those tendons that support that joint and the ligaments. You've got some strong ligaments in that joint that you can have tendonitis in those.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that we use too is like if you find you have pain in your fingers or your wrists, we use a lot of KT taping. Oh. So this is like some KT tape I just brought with me.
KT, what does that stand for?
Kinesio tape.
Kinesio tape.
Okay, right. And you can buy this in any kind of medical supply store or a grocery store that has a medical place. But I'll just kind of show you. Sometimes even let's go ahead and take your thumb. And this is something that you could do for your thumb instead of the little splint that we have to support so this isn't hyperextending, is taking some of that tape. And I like this because it's flexible. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start there. I'm gonna pull this around. Okay, and bring this around and give it that flexion pattern. So it's not put on there the best, but now try to strum and see what that feels like. Does that feel different or
Does
supportive?
Feel very different, yes.
But supportive,
yes.
Right? So if you find that you have thumb pain or finger pain, Kinesio tape is one of those things that you can use. And sometimes it's used as a reminder. Okay, don't bend my wrist.
Yeah.
So we could even put one on your wrist, and that kind of gives you that
Can you
cue.
try that? Just see if it impairs the...
So start here, keep that wrist down, and then we're going to come down into the hand. Okay, like
and that'll
that.
pull up on that?
And then that's going to retract, and that keeps the wrist up, and that's going to help cue you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that probably...
Yep.
Does that impair your playing? It makes you play differently?
It makes me play in a way I'm not used to. I don't know if that's necessarily impairing, but
yeah, I mean, like, and you're not playing 100% of the time with that wrist bent, and that's okay. But for the folks that actually do play that all the time that way, they're gonna feel that. I had a guitar player in the other day saying his fingers are going numb, and I said, well, how do you hold your guitar? He said, just like that, like with that wrist flexed. So I'm like, okay, well, don't do that, and you got to do this, and so sometimes it just takes
Yeah. Getting used to.
getting used to, but it's not restrictive. It's just kind of a cue.
I can do it if I want to,
Right.
but it just reminds you.
Right.
Steve, have
So-
you had experience with players that have had some difficulties that that
Yeah, I
would
mean,
benefit?
I've know some people that have struggled. Some of the older folks, I've noticed. I have a couple friends. I don't know, it was One Man Johnson or somebody. He's in his 70s, but sometimes the thumb joint becomes weakened, and so
Yes.
doing the things they used to do becomes really problematic.
Yeah.
And when that starts to happen, what happens is people change maybe the guitar they're using or the string gauge. They do things to help make that less problematic within the instrument itself if they.